Good morning to our guests.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
We want to apologize for starting behind time. We had some technical challenges on our end, so we're trying to resolve.
It's fine.
So we're happy to have you here with us.
Thank you for having us.
My name is Winifred Wang, and I work with the Plateau State ICT Development Agency. I'm going to be the host and the moderator for the Plateau TechTalk webinar. And I just want to welcome everyone once again to the first edition of the Plateau Tech Talk webinar. So and congratulations to you as well for being part of history. And we believe that this webinar, this series is going to be an ongoing webinar through which we'll be able to empower and impact Plateau youth and citizens with technical skills and also bring them to all the stakeholders involved to be able to have meaningful conversations about how we can how we can leverage on ICT to move Plateau State forward and also to impact citizens positively. So I just want to acknowledge the presence of the guests that we have here today. We have the Director General of the Plateau State ICT Development Agency, Engineer Daton Dominic Wama. We also have the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry for Science, Technology, and Innovation, Honorable Shukwu Cletus. You're welcome, sir. Then we also have our panelists that are here with us. We have with us here Chief Kope Silvanus, who is the founder and CEO of A+ Computers Training Technology. You're welcome, sir. And we also have Mr. Michael Adeniji, who is the lead Partnerships and Placement 3MTT initiative. We also have Mr. Victor on the panel, who is a 3MTT community manager in Plateau State. And we also have Jokobet Uri, who is a UI/UX designer and also a beneficiary of the 3MTT initiative under the first cohort. So you're welcome, and we're happy to have you here, and we hope that this is going to be an interesting and impactful session for all of us. So to begin this webinar, I'm going to invite the Director General of the Plateau State ICT Development Agency, who is going to give us a brief overview of what the Plateau Tech Talks webinar is all about, and also our topic for this webinar, which is leveraging 3MTT for youth empowerment.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I wish to especially thank you people for attending this first episode of our webinar. Sharing of information with other people, especially the young ones, gives us an opportunity to mentor. And most of the time, it's when people hear that they're able to do. And when people hear from people that are more experienced, that is when they are going to, take their path and even do better. That's why on this particular episode, we are looking at the 3MTT program, which had commenced some years ago with for Plateau about 5,000 over 5,000 people have been trained on this program. We especially thank the minister for the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy for bringing this wonderful program. And we want to ensure that our people have a clear understanding of the program and then take advantage of that for their skill development. We are going to have this webinar every month, and we'll discuss various topics. So I wish to welcome you to this maiden event. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for this welcome address. So we have here with us as well the Honorable Commissioner, Science, Technology and Innovation, Plateau State. We'll be taking a goodwill message from him as well. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Am I loud enough?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Because I'm a bit worried. Looking at the attendance, just about 8 persons in attendance. Is this the timing that is the problem, or the information is not widely circulated?
Okay, sir, we are actually streaming on YouTube, so only the guests are using the Zoom platform, but the audience are streaming on YouTube. We are live on YouTube currently.
Okay, so no problem. So I can just go ahead with my welcome address.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So distinguished guests and the keynote speakers and all our youths, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great honor that I welcome you all to this transformative maiden monthly webinar series focused on a bold and a visionary leader of our able DG of PICTDA, Engineer Daton, with the team leveraging the 3 million technical talent. That's a 3MPTT for youth empowerment. For me, today, the society stand at the intersection of an opportunity and innovation. The 3MTT initiative, which was launched under the Renew Hope agenda, is not just a training program, but rather it is a movement to equip about 3 million young Nigerians with technical skills needed to survive in this digital economy and to compete both locally and globally. This initiative is a strategy that will empower our young people to dream big. So I want to appreciate you for this wonderful initiative, and more especially be a median edition. So it is my prayer that as you begin this web now, let's see how we can commit to supporting and mentoring our youth, so that they can also contribute their quotas in the programs of our state. And as you continue, I welcome you all to this important session. And I also look forward to a more youth-targeted program through collaboration and shared vision. And it is on this note, I want to wish you a successful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, so moving on, we're supposed to have a keynote address to be delivered by the Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development, who is not here at the moment. So we're just going to continue and dive right into the panel session. When he comes on board, we may take a break and give him some time to address us. All right, so our panel discussion for today will be looking at how we can leverage the 3 Million Technical Talent Initiative to empower youth in Plateau State. And we have 4 guests with us here to join us on this panel. So the first person I'm inviting is Chief Kope Silvanus, who is the founder and CEO of A+ Computers, like I earlier mentioned. We also have Mr. Michael Adeniji, who is the lead partnerships and placement for the 3MTT initiative. Michael Adeniji is a seasoned development and technology strategist with over a decade of experience driving impactful programs across the public, private, and non-profit sectors. He currently serves as the lead partnerships and placement at the Federal Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy under the Office of the Honorable Minister. Our 3 Million Technical Talent Program, a flagship national initiative designed to equip millions of Nigerians with digital and technical skills, bridging the talent gap in emerging technologies. And we also have, you're welcome, sir. We also have Mr. Victor Abel. He is a passionate technical support and growth professional with a strong background in AI, software as a service platforms, and digital marketing, with a proven experience supporting product adoption, onboarding users, and managing technical support across global startups. And Mr. Victor is currently serving as the 3MTT Community Manager in Plateau State. You're welcome, Mr. Victor. And then lastly, we have Jokobe Zakaria Uri, who is a product designer and design lead and tutor at Blue Technologies. And she has about 2 years experience in product design. She was a beneficiary of the 3MTT program. So you're welcome once again. So we'll just go right into our panel discussion. And I'm going to start with you, Mr. Michael. So we have been hearing about 3MTT for a while now, and I'm sure not everyone, some may know what 3MTT is all about. I'm sure we still have many people who may not know or may just have little idea about the 3MTT initiative. So we would like you to give us a brief overview on what the 3MTT program is all about.
Very well. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. The Honorable Commissioner and the DG, thank you for the amazing work you're doing in Plateau State and the partnership with the federal government, especially in the 3MTT program. The 3MTT program, tagged 3 Million Talent Program, is an initiative of the federal government led by the Honorable Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy to train 3 million Nigerians in tech and digital skills between 2023 and 2027. At the same time, open up opportunities up to 2 million for Nigerians in tech and digital space locally and internationally. The program is implemented across the 36 states of the country, and we have fellows from every local government in the country. The program is open to all Nigerian. The requirements to participate in the 3MTT program is to be a Nigerian, have your NIN as a Nigerian. Right now, we are currently on the course 3 of the program that is rounding up at the end of this month, and across the country in all 36 states plus the FCT, there'll be impact summits to showcase what learners have learned across 12 distinct courses, including AI, machine learning, cybersecurity, product management, UI, UX, animation, etc. And it's a great delight to see the move by the state government to want to do this with the federal government and open up opportunities for its young people. Later this month or next month, the 3MTT program will be scaled up, and the focus of the scale-up process is to ensure that every Nigerian in every community, either in the most rural community in the Plateau State or the state capital in Jos, or even in the south in Lagos or wherever in the north is able to learn. So that's an overview of what the TMT program is about.
All right, thank you very much. And we must commend the President and the Ministry of Communications for this initiative and the fact that they are deliberate about ensuring that there's distribution across all the 36 states of the Federation. So this leads me to my next question, and this question I'm addressing it to Mr. Victor. So I understand that there are community managers across all the 36 states, and you happen to be the community manager for Plateau State. So let's bring the true entity down to Plateau State. We want you to give us like an overview of how the program has been so far in Plateau State. What is the current participation rate across the different local governments, and what challenges, what strategies are you implementing to address these gaps?
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. Please, can you please confirm you can hear me so I can proceed? Okay, thank you so much. So, yes, I'm Victor Bell, and I'm the community manager for Plateau State. I majorly joined up in February last year when the program just started, and since then it's been an amazing journey, I would say, and we've actually been doing very good in it. So current participation for Plateau, we have generally around 43,000 applications. So applications, I mean, but then we had a couple of, there are some processes before one gets enrolled into a cohort. So a lot of those applications did not end up getting into the main cohorts because there are some assessments and many people did not take, some people don't check their emails and stuff. But across the three cohorts, we have approximately around 5,000 that we've been able to enroll into a cohort in Plateau State. And for cohort 1 and 2, because we need applied learning clusters. So our learning is hybrid, like Michael mentioned earlier. And then at the different local governments, we were able to majorly have just north and south, where we have the highest number of registrations, and then applied learning clusters were provided for those local governments. And we had a very successful training. Then for cohort 3, we have, that's when we went virtual, and then the representation, like Michael mentioned, across the 774 local governments across the country, because this time around, it's not mandatory that one gets into a physical location. So this is the state of things, and we've been in partnership with like local hubs here. We had 2 successful hackathons. The first hackathon we had was for cohort 1, where we had Nasarawa State and Benue State here in Plateau. We hosted them here. It was 2 days, and thank God Plateau State was second in the hackathon, which shows that we're actually doing something good. Then cohort 2 was mainly at the state level. So it wasn't, we didn't have any other state. And then it was also successful as well. And we have a few solutions that came up from those hackathons, which we hope to keep building on and provide them hopefully with opportunities, just as we already have some with internships through partnership with NGFP and a couple of other private sector partnerships. I hope this gives some clarity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. And we're happy to hear that Plateau State is actually doing well, and there's a community that's been built around this initiative. So my next question is for Ms. Jacobed, who is a fellow of the True MTT initiative. Can you walk us through your personal journey with the True MTT program? That's from application to where you are to say. We'd like to know what specific skills did you acquire, and how have they transformed your career prospects?
All right, thank you for having me here. My TMTT journey was kind of like a fairy tale, I'll say, because when it when my mom sent me the link, I was skeptical about filling because sometimes things from government, you will be like, is it real? Is it not real? Is it a spam? And all that. But I ended up filling it, but I didn't get in at the first time I tried. So a friend came over to my house at a point and she was like, did you fill 3MTT? I told her no. And she made me fill it again. And immediately I got an email. And that's how I started my journey as a 3MTT fellow. And from there, I was onboarded on Alt School, where I started my product design journey. I chose the track of product design, and I really will say I had a feel from Alt School before I move on to my physical learning platform, where I was able to meet with a community of other like-minded individuals and tech communities to help me bridge the gap between where I was, from being skeptical, from trying to understand what tech is all about. Even though I was having curiosity about Canva, with Canva, I used to design flyers, posters, but I don't really know what product design was. So from 3MTT, I was able to gain an understanding of what product design is. And from there, I was onboarded to NJFB. I was part of their fellows as an intern, and they were able to carry us through a one-year program with a physical learning platform. And I gained a lot of experience from there, from tech skills to managerial skills. Because of the place I was placed, we were able to gain experience with students. And from there, I started tutoring at my present organization. So that's how it started. And this is where I am right now. And of course, I have been freelancing to some extent. And yeah, I know that there's more solution to come up with tech and the knowledge I've gained through NTT. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And I'm happy to hear that this training has given you an edge and allowing you to be able to apply your skills and to gain employment. Okay, so my next question is for Chief Kope Silvanus, who is a trainer and accredited learning trainer in Plateau State. Can you please let us know what your experience has been so far as a trainer, and what are some of the most popular training tracks among Plateau State youth, and how do we also ensure that the 3MTT curriculum remains relevant in industry needs?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity that PICTDA has brought us this far. I want to commend the DG for PICTDA and his management team. I also want to commend the Honorable Commissioner and at the same time the Federal Ministry of Digital Economy for this initiative. Let me speak on behalf of master trainers for 3MTT. A+ Computer Training Technology was part of the master trainer from the beginning of the first cohort down to the last cohort, which we're anticipating the fourth cohort, because the third cohort currently was online, but the first and second cohort was both physically. We have, from the first cohort and the second cohort, our training was focused on the area of artificial intelligence, so machine learning, and data science, and animations. But the second cohort was predominantly on cyber security and UI UX. But for Plateau State, let me correct the notion. Though our headquarters is here, but I have an office in Bauchi State. So I'm not one of the hub that was selected for Plateau State, but it's in Bauchi State. But in my right, I can be able to answer the questions you have raised. Regarding what you have said, the curriculum or the idea which the Federal Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy has brought us this far is a laudable initiative, which I believe that the state government down to the local government, who are the key actors or key players in driving the digital technology in the state, need to abide by deepening most of these curriculums, because the curriculums are industrial needs. They are up to standards, is what most of the industries need. Like one of the fellows have said, I'm pretty sure that if it was not industrial need, does not meet up with the industrial need, basically one of the hub wouldn't have, be able to absorb her for her to be one of the resource persons. And so going forward, as one of the master trainer, we have our own challenges, which the community manager will attest to it in area of funding, payment of hubs, and so on and so forth. But aside that, are we just providing training as master trainer? No. The talent which we are building and developing, there's a lot that needs to be done, just like I've mentioned earlier, from the state government down to the local government, for them to complement the effort that the federal government are doing. In Plateau State itself, predominantly the number of people, the cost that I think have highest number of people is data and cybersecurity. But aside that, and cybersecurity and data science, they are very much soft skills that the 21st century now is driven into, which most of the activities that we are doing currently, is settled within this particular sector. And I believe that aside what the federal government are doing, the state government and the local government must be deliberate to ensure that they complement what the federal government are doing in terms of absorbing this talent that we're doing. As a training hub or a training organization, there's little we can do. And the best we can do is for us to incubate this talent by building this talent for the future workforce. And the state government through the local government through the state government also have a lot to do. These fellows are coming from where? They are coming from the local government. And this local government are in which state? They are in Plateau State. So we expect that after when we have incubated this talent, the training centers cannot absorb all of them. So the state government and the local government have a wake-up responsibility to absorb this talent that we have been able to do, because these particular services or this particular talent that has been built, has been built, must be sustained. And part of the sustainability plan is for the local government and the state government to see how they can come in by building capacity of this hub, localizing most of this hub to the various local government. Because if we have, let's say, we have a standardized tech hub, let's say, across the local government, the 17 local government, then it is not just the hub that are going to benefit. It's not going to be beneficial just to the hub, but to the community itself, because it's going to create employability, where most of these particular trained fellows will have an opportunity for them to be able to get direct job placement. Mentorship will also be part of it. What will be part of it? At the same time, again, it's also going to sustain these particular skills that these young fellows have been able to acquire within a period of time. It's one thing to train, and then it's another thing to sustain. So for the sustainability, the local government and the state government have a lot of responsibility in providing critical infrastructure, providing the job portal or platform where most of this particular talent will be showcased and will be absorbed. Currently, we have DSN. DSN are also partnering with the MTT, which currently they are about to onboard some of the trainings. The people are still applying, and I think they're focusing in the area of artificial intelligence and so on and so forth. Now, at the end of the day, it's expected that if the critical infrastructures are in place, out of these fellows that we have trained in first cohort and second cohort, they should, I should take the back seat. They should be the one to come and take this current training that is ongoing. But I will tell you for a fact, no matter how good most of these fellows are, it is difficult to keep them. It is also difficult to be able to provide a place where they can be able to work. And so it is only those who, after building this huge talent, it's difficult to even export most of this brain. And there's little that the tech hubs can be able to do. The government, the state and the local government have a lot to do. So I expect that maybe subsequently, in the next call, the 17 local government chairmen should be on this call. So that these are people who want to talk to them. These are people who want them to embrace what the state government are already doing. So some of these recommendations and some of these good ideas that the panelists are going to dish out, they should also, localize it in their own various local government. Because it is expected that if AYZ are trained, for example, now in Just Not, the local government chairman should by all means try as much as possible to provide the critical infrastructure that will be able to absorb most of this talent so that there will be sustainability in that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Chief Kope. You made so many valid points here about the state and local governments embracing this initiative for a wider reach and impact. So building on that, I would like to ask Mr. Michael this question. How can the federal government better support state-level initiatives to increase the TMTT awareness and participation so that, like in our case in Plateau State here, we have most of the hubs in Just North and Just South, which are in the urban area, but we have other local governments. So we want to be able to spread these trainings across all the local governments. So how can the federal government help support the states in ensuring that we are able to take this MTT initiative across all the LGAs, including the rural areas?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. I'll start by reading out some data on what we have in Plateau States. We have fellows across, I'm currently looking at dashboard, across all LGAs in Plateau States, with the IS being Just North, Just South, in Bago, in Bassa, Pangshin, Shandam, and the rest. 31% of the participants are female, and 39% are female, and 60.5% are male. There are 774 local governments in Nigeria, and one of the initiatives that each state is doing to ensure access for the people of the states to the 3MC program is an example of such is what Plateau State is currently doing. At the federal government level, the federal government is ensuring that the platform is available and can be useful for learners across the country. However, the federal government is not able to deploy resources, especially physical resources, to every community. And as you would assume, there are over the. Can everyone hear?
Yes, you're audible.
Very well. As you would assume, there are a couple of thousand communities. Sorry, I was getting an interference there across the entire country. And so the federal government is not able to deploy physical resources across board. However, at the moment, the last score, that score two, we had 200 ALCs live. Realistically, what the federal government is doing in our scale-up phase is to ensure that there are at least one or two ALC across every LG in the country, so that each learner, either you're taking the hybrid pathway or the fully online pathway to learning, you're able to participate in a center that is within a 20-kilometer radius of your community. But it's more on the state government and the local government, like as the ALC rep has just said earlier, to ensure that there's equitable access to the very rural communities in the states. The federal government is doing its best to ensure the platform is available and supporting through learning partnership with learners like ALS, Coursera, etc. But when it comes to ensuring participation at very rural levels, we're counting on a partnership with the state government, with the local government across the board to bring this to place. And such partnership is what we're currently doing with Plateau State. I'll give an example. A state sometime last month committed about 16 centers to support the hybrid pathway of the program, so that in all the local governments in the state, we had existing ALCs in the states, but adding 16 to them ensured that across the entire state, in all local governments, at least there is an ALC where a learner is able to go to within a 30-kilometer radius in Code 4. So that's the kind of partnership or support that we're leveraging with the state government, with the local government to ensure equitable access to the program.
Thank you very much. So if you're just joining us on YouTube, you are welcome to the first edition of the Plateau TechTalk. And today we are looking at leveraging 3MTT for youth empowerment. So you're welcome. Kindly follow and like our page and subscribe on YouTube, because we are going to be having more engagement in the future. And also we have a trivia and prizes to be won. So please stay tuned. Don't go anytime soon. All right. So moving on, Mr. Victor, I would like to know what is the current capacity and infrastructure of training hubs in Plateau State, and how can we expand to better serve the 17 local governments and to be able to accommodate as many trainers that we can in Plateau State?
Okay, thank you again for the opportunity to come up. So currently we have 5 active ALCs. So this is what happens, right? We have a rolling registration. So anybody that has a training provider can actually register. And then we come up with these ALCs based on the number at a certain location. Like I mentioned earlier, when we had most of the numbers from just north and just south. So it means our ALCs are more concentrated here. So for cohort 1, we had 3 ALCs, applied learning clusters. And then for cohort 2, we had 5 ALCs, that's the applied learning clusters. So it's not that there are no hubs in JOS, that we have just 5, but that the number of people, these 5 would be able to comfortably take care of the current numbers in just north and south, right? Then for those other local governments, because let's say then, because we have fewer registrations from other local governments and we didn't have tech providers at those local government levels who applied. So that also became a challenge to take down ALCs down the different regions of the state, like the Plateau South or Central, because of there are no providers who registered their interest to be part of the program. So going forward, the expectation, and especially that we want to have a statewide adoption, I think a key thing that will be important is, as almost everyone here has stated, if we say we want to handle everything from the state level, there must be an acceptance level at the local government position if we actually want to succeed, right? So local governments need to also adopt it. If possible, if we're also able to connect with traditional rulers, because I know some traditional rulers are well informed and would be happy to have their people join up in programs as this. So if we are able to build up this kind of rapport, and then also like the youth wing of Plateau, I know they have representation across the different local governments as well. So that can also be a movement that we can leverage. If we have people at those areas, and then that the state is looking to adopt it at a very large scale, it means that would be easy because there's acceptance by local government itself as an arm of government. There's acceptance by the people at the people's level from their leaders and stuff. And at the end, we will have a state that has active economic players, and by economic players, I mean here digital economic players across our different local governments will be able to actively and then provide jobs for themselves and even others, because some will build products, some will find employment, different things. So at the end, it's the entire state that's being developed. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Victor. Okay, so I know we have spoken about state and local government adoption, and earlier you made some points, Chief Kope, about that, but I would just like you to expand on, build on it. So what policy recommendations would you make to government and stakeholders to maximize youth empowerment potential of initiatives like the True MTT?
Your network is very poor. I can't hear the last part, but
okay, I can take it again.
okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, very well.
Okay, so I just wanted you to build on what you talked about earlier, and also Mr. Victor just mentioned about adoption at the local and state and local government level. So my question is, what policy recommendations would you make to government and stakeholders to maximize the youth empowerment potential of initiatives like the True MTT?
Could provide critical infrastructure. That is one. Everything goes down on infrastructure. We in the private sector, for you to set up a training center that can accommodate, let's say 50, you should be thinking of not investing not less than 50 million naira. And for those who are incubating, or somebody who is just going into business, it will take him at least possibly 5 to 10 years to raise that kind of money, unless and until he has the opportunity for him to be able to possibly work remotely. But if it's in Nigeria, it will be difficult because one, he won't be qualified for him to get contract. And for you to get contract, you must be able to have a company that must have been able to have all the needed license. And so the best that the government can do, which I'm still speaking, is the state government and the local government must see this as a working partnership, just like the way the Federal Ministry of Digital Economy brought the issue of the digital economy bill for the 36 states to adopt. The state government, for taking this wonderful initiative to create this kind of platform, Bauchi have not done that, because at least Niger State have not done that, because I have offices there. Plateau State have done that, and even Kaduna State have not done that. But for us to take the lead, I think it is also best bet that a policy document should come out from PICTDA through the 17 local government, for them to be able to set up ICT directorate at the various local government. Once, if they have an ICT directorate at the various local government, this will go a long way in cementing relationship between the local government and the state government. The community manager mentioned something which I want us to take it with utmost seriousness. That you ask the question, why is it that most of the LLC are within just north and just south. It is clear. Electricity, that is one. The epileptic internet, even your own internet is not even strong as it should. You are even in the city, the capital. So it's already a problem. Now, if you have a challenge of internet at the state capital, think of somebody who might be from Kwa in Kwanpan local government. What will be his challenges in terms of internet? So critical infrastructures is very, very key for us to be able to drive. So the policy document I am trying to recommend is that PICTDA should set up an ICT directorate for the 17 local government where they will have this directorate, and this directorate will not just be in terms of just public figure. They must also work directly, as you just had, with tech association like Plateau, NCS, CPN, and so on and so forth. You should the universities for them to be part and parcel of these critical infrastructures, where at least, even if they will not build possibly maybe a tech park and what have you, but at least the local government secretariat, if they can have a well-furnished, infrastructure where most of these people can go in and possibly mentorship can be provided and so on and so forth. That will also help to open the conversation at the various local government level. Now, for example, now me, I'm from Penshin local government. And here in Plateau State, I have 3 offices, 2 in just north, 1 in just south. It is expected that I should, if the government can provide that enabling environment and then those critical infrastructure for me in Penshin local government, my own village, which is cheap, which the DG passed through before he goes to his own local government. I can comfortably go and establish a training center in my own village, instead of people coming down to just to acquire some of these particular skills. They can, and by virtue of that, it will give opportunity for most of these fellows who really want to get these particular skills at their own convenience, will feel more interested in applying for this. So the state government and the local government have a lot of responsibility for them to be able to work around that. It is only when they do that that the private sectors like us will feel confident enough for us to be able to go and establish or open up additional training centers in those. And by opening up most of these training centers, automatically we are bridging that digital divide from the local government down to the state level. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for these wonderful recommendations. The Director General PICTDA is on this call, so I'm sure that there's a lot of points I have mentioned that the agency will run with. Okay, so to our viewers on YouTube, please, if you have questions, you can begin to send in your questions or any contributions to this conversation. Please begin to drop them in the comment sections. All right, so let's come back to the user side of the training. I would like to know from Jokobed. I would like to know what were the main challenges you faced during the training and how did the program structure help you overcome them? Were there any support systems that were placed that helped you during your training? Your mic is on, but we can't hear you. Okay, you can just unmute yourself, please, Jokobed.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, clearly. So we can't hear you.
So few challenges was
Okay, your network is breaking.
as much as the
Okay, so we'll come back to you later if when your network is better. So my next question is for Mr. Michael. I know earlier on you gave us some statistics about JOS, but we'd also like to know more. What are the key performance indicators for the True MTT program nationwide? And how is Plateau State performing against this benchmark?
Thank you. But before I answer your question, I want to add comments to what I'd said earlier about that is ensuring equitable access of the program across the states and local government across the country. I'd say that so far, the reception that the ministry and the program has received from the Plateau State government is very commendable, and kudos to the state government led by the governor and the commissioner and as well the DG for all they do. However, there needs to be more intentional efforts to show that what we are speak to, we're actually doing. So one of the things we'll look forward to would be after this meeting, we have further conversations with the agency and the commission and see how we can deeply integrate the things we've spoken about. To roll out more statistics about the program across the country, while I'm able to give some data now, I might not be able to give a number of other information, but in the second quarter of the year, the program created up to 13,000 job opportunities for learners across the country. For how many of such opportunities were taken up by fellows in Plateau State, I might not be able to share that right away. I'm sure Victor is able to share with the agency later today or in the coming days. It's also very delightful to see that there's a lot of female participation in Plateau State. I'll give an example. In Plateau State, there was a woman, a grandmother of 65 years, who joined the program and learned animation. And as a project, when she finished her course, she was a member of Core 2. She developed a platform where she was using the local language in Plateau State to train local farmers on food security and how to manage farming, sustenance farming, and how to improve the farming skills or styles. It was quite interesting to see that an elderly person, a 65-year-old person who has learned data animation, saw that as a project to take on and to share. For us, that's some goodwill and that's some good story or testimony of how well the program is doing in the States. And seeing what just so bad that Jokobet is not able to speak to what she's doing. There are stories like Jokobet that goes across the states of persons who have learned and are doing exceedingly well in the different courses or programs they have learned. And I'm also sure that Victor can share more data on this, that the number of participants in Core 1 and Core 2 have gotten some international gigs or opportunities where they're able to support or work for international systems in either cybersecurity or product design or animation, as the case of the 65-year-old woman. I think those are some very interesting things that we're seeing. Additionally, what we would like to see going forward, and this would be part of what would come out of our skill of phase, the number of plans that we want to roll out in the next 1 month as part of the skill of phase that I might not be able to share now, and that would come from the Honorable Minister when the announcements are made, but that would increase participation and ensure that persons in very rural communities can participate in the program. But this would have to happen with everyone's hand on deck. While the private sector, the chief has spoken very well for the role the private sector has to play, there's a role that the state government, the local government, the agency has to play in ensuring that whatever plan that is being rolled out for the program to go to all corners of the states is implemented. And so it will be delightful, like I mentioned earlier, to have this further conversations with the state leadership and see what we can build for that to ensure that TMC, as much as possible, is training Plateau State young people, especially, and also giving access to placement opportunities locally and internationally. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Michael. So, Jacobite, if you have you back online, you can just go on with the previous question asked.
Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
please go on.
All right, so I'm sorry about the network glitch, and I'm not having light, so my battery went low. I had to switch devices. So I was talking about how some of these challenges came up. One thing was because of the nature of the learning platform. I was not able to. At first, it was if you're not tech savvy or you're not online kind of person, it will be hard for you to navigate through your dashboard or and also your learning platform if you're not really used to learning online. So that's the first thing that I can say. Of course, balancing your time, because this is something that you have just onboarded yourself to. So you have to utilize time for this thing, making use of time management, and to help you to learn better how to utilize your time. And also, when I started learning offline on my physical learning platform, I was able to, it's not easy for me to find it, but I was able to balance at some point and get through with it. I guess these are, I'm sorry, I guess these are some future challenges that I faced. I'll talk about it on my next question. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so we'll just take a few more questions and then we go into the Q&A session. So please, if you are viewing on YouTube, you have questions, kindly drop your questions in the chat so we can take them. And also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have more engagements coming in the future. And also remember to wait to the end of this webinar because we have prizes to be won here. All right, so my question is for Chief Kope. How do you measure the success of your training programs, and what post-training support do you provide for graduates?
Okay. Our success story is based on the performance of our fellows after training. I did mention something earlier, which is sustainability. So training is one arm, the sustainability is another thing, and our success story has been in from my center in Bauchi. We won. I think we came second in the pitch deck that was done. Then the second cohort became third, and then our centers have also won some bonuses in terms of data and rest of it from the 3MTT. But aside that, our success story, as I said, is major based on the performance of our fellows. And most of our fellows, in the first cohort, it was on artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, and animation. So on animations, we were able to secure a job for 3 of the fellows, 2 in Lagos and then 1 in Abuja. Then for data science, we were able to get also job remotely from some of our partners in USA. They're currently working with Triangle Advisory Board for 5 people. And then in the second cohort, we were able to secure also remote job with an Indian company on cybersecurity for 10 of our fellows. Then currently the state government, the director of their ICT, which is DICT, Bauchi, are currently, they absorbed 2 of our fellows, which they're having a state cybersecurity training for about, targeting about 100 participants. It's a state-sponsored training. And aside that, the current center manager for Bauchi State Office is also one of our fellows from the last cohort who were put him on job placement. The secretary too, she did UI UX, so she's also one of the fellows. And then, and many more. So the recent launching of our share working space here in Plateau State, we did mention that by August, we will be, from our community, we will be sponsoring, with our partners, we'll be sponsoring 10 fellows from our community to India for a 6-month professional training. Those who have, they're going to pitch some of their ideas from ideation down to acceleration. It's going to be fully paid by our partners. They will be there in India for a period of 3 to 4 months, which they are going to, and if for any of these idea that possibly meet up with what they need, they're also going to provide some funding and direct job opportunities for their ideas. So these are also part of the things that we are doing. But aside that, it's not enough. We are appealing to the state government through PICTDA to please look into the plight of most of these training centers. It is not really easy. If you want us to create more employment, since the government said they don't have jobs that they can give to most of these talents who are building, I will advise that part of the sustainability plan, not just for my center, but on behalf of both aspiring and existing training center, they should try as much as possible to support most of this hub, either in terms of internet or in terms of power. I think these are very, very crucial. It won't be out of place if, for example, when I provide maybe an infrastructure like where I am currently, and possibly maybe I can give maybe 2-3 days or 1 day to most of these fellows to say, okay, please come and use my space and learn, and possibly while you are learning, I can provide mentorship, whatever you have learned, for the sustainability of what you have learned, especially in the area of technical know-how. That will also help to shape whatever knowledge and skill base that most of us have been able to acquire, which in the nearest future, it will come to play. So in that regard, I want to plead that the state government, again, and the local government to support the initiative that the federal government has put. The federal government, the highest they can do is what they are doing currently in making sure that they try to manage most of this LC by paying them what is due for them. The state government also have a responsibility to support most of this LC by providing them, as I said, access to light and internet, and at the same time encourage, by doing that, they will encourage most of this LC to open up more of these their centers in undeserved community. Because we're looking at the sustainability of this program, and the sustainability also have to do with most of these fellows that we have been able to build their talent. And I'll tell you for a fact, like my own center, the first cohort, we have 250, the second cohort, we have 565. And those who were successful in the first cohort, out of 254, those who were successful were about 200. Now, in the second cohort, those who were successful were those 50. So to tell you that there is a decline, even from the cohort, meaning that there is serious challenges. Yes, my center can be able to provide the infrastructures in terms of providing the learning facilities like systems, internet, light, and so on and so forth. But after the training, what happened? Most of these fellows don't have training or learning facilities like internet, systems, and so on and so forth. That is where the local government can come in. They're receiving a lot of money. What are they doing? They can come in and say, okay, if we have, let's say, 50 fellows from, let's say, Shandam local government, getting 50 laptops for these fellows by the local government chairman, I don't think it's a big deal. Even if one laptop is 1 million, for example, which is even less than that, we're talking of 50 million. It's not enough for the local government chairman to do that. And once if this fellow have these learning facilities like these systems, I will tell you for a fact that they will be able to even source for a job opportunity by themselves. To PICTDA, thank you for giving us this opportunity, but I want to still plead. It is not out of place for us to have a job portal where most of these fellows that we are incubating, we are building these skills, can be able to showcase their talent by profiling most of these people. And the government, you have the political will for you to be able to export these brains. If we have a job portal that is well structured by the state government, it will be easy and easier for Plateau State government to say, NICTA, Federal Ministry of Communication, and so on and so forth, please, we have AYZ of this fellow that you have been able to train, and we have been able to profile them by ensuring that we have provided them with the needed technical know-how in terms of what? Of mentorship. Please, can you absorb or can you give AYZ job opportunity? Again, through PICTDA, they can equally look out within the MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies of the state, that most of these talents that have been built, they can be there to assist, even if it is based on contract basis. We're talking of e-governance. And how will e-governance work when the workforce is not built? How can e-governance work when the critical infrastructure is not in place? And so, I want to beg that the DG and the Commissioner for Science and Tech, please, as a matter of urgency, please and please try as much as possible to set up this job portal platform for the state, and let's try and profile most of these skills, talent that we're building in the state by ensuring that most of these people, they are being given opportunity. It might not be permanent job, but it can be a form of possibly, providing an avenue for them to be able to, build most of these skills that they have been able to gain. 3 months is not enough for us to have a well-equipped or experienced fellow who have undergone a training, especially in cybersecurity, artificial intelligence. It's not enough.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your recommendations. And I must commend your organization for the amazing work you are doing, empowering youth. In conclusion, I would like to hear from Mr. Michael, Ms. Jacobet, and Mr. Victor. So this webinar was organized to celebrate the World Youth Skills Day, which is an annual event, to highlight the vital importance of equipping young people with skills for employment and decent work. So I would like to hear from the three of you, your advice for youth and how they can leverage digital skills to gain meaningful employment. so I will start with Ms. Jacobet.
All right. Thank you so much, ma. So in conclusion, I'll go over some few things. The future, I think every cohort facing because of internet connection, especially with Nigerians, we have a lot problem with internet. And as a new fellow or someone that is onboarding to start their tech journey, there's a lot of demand for data, and also when it comes to their physical learning platform, transportation, and sometimes those local governments don't really have an LLC. I think I interacted with some fellows, few fellows that I came in contact with that are having challenges because there is no LLC in their local government. I think with an example is Shenda, where they have a lot of fellows, but there's no learning platform there yet. Also, specific challenge accessing information, especially when it comes to people that are not tech savvy or they are not really online. It will be hard for them to understand what 3MTT is all about, and what how they can onboard themselves and how they can start their learning journey. But I think with to bridge that gap, let there be maybe a grassroots awareness, maybe something through the local radio, our churches, our communities, like even NYC programs, because I think there's no part of Nigeria that there's no NYSC fellow that you can an NYC fellow. So through NYC too, we can preach the gospel of tech into those and empower them to come up with solutions, and also our own people to can be a part of 3MTT, because I believe tech is a platform where solutions are meant to be provided to make life easier for people, to provide solutions to problems that our communities are facing. And if our old people, our parents, can be made to come up or be aware of what tech is all about, I think what they faced and how we can bridge that gap of their challenges and making it better for the generation coming up. As a beneficiary, I've benefited from 3MTT a lot, and I really thank God for this platform. It's really designed for the youth. It's really designed for providing solutions, and with the coming up of AI and other tools in technology, because technology, of course, will continue to take over the future. I think we can come up with better solutions, solve Nigeria's problem, and bring a better solution to our community. So to every person out there, don't wait to be ready before you start tech. Tech is for everybody, and we need more minds, more creative minds in the space, so that we can come up with solutions that can put Nigeria forward and Plateau State at large to become the new Silicon Valley of Nigeria. And of course, 3MTT is, I think, at some point, is designed for people with zero knowledge, because it can start with you as a beginner, and at the end, you become someone that is savvy about the learning track or the path you have chosen to learn. So, to some extent, there are some platforms that you don't really need to start with. You can use your phone, you can use any screen that is around you to start learning. So it's just for you to stay consistent. It's just for you to be willing to push through the odds, because of course these challenges are real. They are real, and you cannot say because of this certain challenge you don't want to start, or you will not do it, because the truth is, if you start it and you have the gusto, if you have the willingness, if you have the discipline to continue, you will see that in a year, in few months, in a year, you become somebody or something that is making or creating change around your community, around the people around you. And please let go of the notion that tech is for people that are computer savvy or they study computer science or all that. I came from a biochemistry background. I studied biochemistry in my university and right now I'm a product designer. I design for websites, I design for mobile, and I brand, and so many other things. So it doesn't mean when you don't, like if you don't have a background in computer science, it doesn't mean that you cannot start tech. It's just for you to come up and have a basic knowledge of Microsoft Word, Excel, and from there you get a better understanding of which track will suit you best and how you can get along with what can help you change your society. And True Entity is not a government program. In reality, it's hands-on practical and it's community driven. And the truth is, through True Entity, I gained community, I gained awareness, I gained digital skill that will not just serve me now, it will serve me for the future and it will serve the people around me. I'm willing to give back to the community and bring in more people. And also, I think through this program, what thing I think is failures start helping with wherever they are. Since they are already starting with this, they should be able to become ambassadors in their local governments and create awareness about treaty. So let's say, imagine someone from Riyom or Langtan discovering about Figma for the first time, designing dashboards, designing mobile apps, realizing how they can earn from this. That's how we can create real change. If they can create change in their communities, starting from there, I think things can work best for us. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much. Success story is really inspiring, and I hope that other youths will be able to find inspiration from all you have said. All right, so can we just have 1 minute each for Mr. Michael and Victor to advise youths? So, Mr. Victor, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'm up again. In 1 minute, two things I want to emphasize. That while we're trying to push awareness and then encourage people to build skills, we should speak in the language that they understand, as well as trying to create some level of reorientation in people. That okay, because people, quite a number of people feel free stuff not really things that would change them, but we have people who have been changed and who are doing amazing things, right? So we need mental orientation from our people, especially at the suburban areas, that okay, this is not just something that you learn and then you just go, but that this is something you learn and then it becomes a part of your journey, and at the end you become successful in it. And also that people always wait for every solutions, right? So if I train you, you should be able to push further, build the skills, and be able to set yourself apart. That's one thing. Then at the state level, at the project level, partnerships, down to the local government, right? So like we've talked about, so we have schools at different local governments that have ICT centers. Those schools can be leveraged if the state is able to communicate with the local government and make rapport with those kinds of institutions. We have colleges and all of those. So we can be able to leverage those, even if it's regional, that will help and go a long way. Thank you. And I hope that our youths in Plateau here will become active digital economic players. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. So now we hear from Mr. Michael.
Thank you. And this is kudos to the Plateau State government, especially the leadership of PICTDA, and for putting this together to commemorate the youth today. It's important to share that we are currently in the fourth internet revolution. And technology as we know it has become part of our daily lives. And there are certain things that weren't part of our lives 10 years ago that has become a day-to-day affair for us. Very critical example is the use of AI. It's important that young people take all the opportunities available to learn and upskill in this sector and this space. Not just economically, but able to improve daily living experience. So I'd say this to Plateau State people, young persons, and even young persons across the country. Opportunities like 3MTT and others that are available across the country should be opportunities that we take on and use to the most best personal benefits. One, for personal development. Two, to be a very functional participatory member of society and to jointly build the country of our dreams to grow. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Michael. Thank you to all our panelists for your wonderful contributions and insights on today's session. We are glad that you honored our invitation. So we have a few questions from our YouTube viewers, and I would like to just throw these questions out to us, and then in 1 minute, we can provide an answer so that we don't stay beyond our webinar time. So this first question is for the Director General of PICTDA. How is the state government exploring the potentials and leverages of the federal ministry? Example, the ministry in providing internet across the local governments in Plateau State.
Okay, even though the question is not very clear, however, I can just decipher a few things from what he's saying. And leveraging the federal ministry is actually very important. And one of the things that we are doing is this particular webinar that we are hosting at the moment, to really get the federal ministry to understand our pains, and also to get the federal ministry to also tell us what they are doing in order to make the lives of people in Plateau and across the country better with tech. I would also want to say, since you mentioned the issue of internet, the federal ministry again is probably Michael will be able to tell us more on that, but they are rolling out about 90,000 kilometers of fiber across the country. And the minister, being a Jos boy, is actually looking at how Jos or Plateau can have one of the earliest deployments. And the state also is not resting on its oars. We are currently going into some agreements with some companies so that we can have fiber laid to various masts. You know, maybe to put it in context, without fiber to the mast, the internet will be extremely slow from that mast. So most important thing is actually how do we get fiber to our masts. Once we get them to the mast, our mobile devices can have faster internet. After that, we can start working about sending internet fiber to our homes. So while the federal government is doing its own, we are leveraging on that, and also the state is also looking at doing its own bit to ensure that the internet access is really good across the state. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. So we have another question. This one is, I think, either Mr. Michael or Victor. What are the requirements to be selected as a training provider?
All right, thank you for the question. Right now, all there is to be a training provider is to have a center that has digital equipment, that is a PC, internet connectivity, power supply, and a required number of those equipment or across in the center. However, because of how stringent the requirements are, there needs to be a process that each training provider would go through before they fit into a cluster of ALCs. We currently have about 200 of them that were fully participants of the second cohort, where Chief Cope's organization was one. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Sorry, let me add again. Let me add.
Okay, please go on.
So, he was talking from the government side. So, for those who want to be a training center, they should. So, first, I think you need to make sure you have a proper documentation. That's the gospel truth. A lot of people are in business, but they don't. Their formalization is inadequate, and when it comes to payment, you're not meeting up compliance, especially like your tax, your NSITF, ITF compliance, your distance, your CSC annual returns, and so on and so forth. So you must have a well-structured company profile apart from having those critical infrastructures. Because when it comes in terms of payment, and you don't have some of those things, you might not even be able to get a payment. So these are things that most of these hub that participated, especially in the second phase, they were not having that, and so their payment became an issue. When they say, "Okay, provide us NSITF," most of them started crying, and they have never done that in their whole life. So, but for all, those of us who we know what we're doing, so we had that, and it was easy for us. So, for you to say you want to be a master trainer, you must make sure that you get the needed certifications appropriately. I think they're even requesting for CPN and NICDA and something of that nature. So you just have to make sure you get those things intact apart from the critical infrastructure. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that additional information. So we have a lot of questions, but most of them are around how they can join the program to gain more experience. So how can young persons who are interested in the 3MTT initiative be able to apply and be part of it?
Thank you for the question. I'll give over to Victor to answer that. But as I said earlier, the program is available to every Nigerian who has a BVN or an NIN, because there's a requirement to get on board. But Victor, can you throw more light?
Okay, thank you so much, Michael. So basically, for people to join, they just need to go to 3mtt.nida.gov.ng. There's you would see three options: apply as a fellow, as an LC, and then I think there's a deep tech program as well, right? So for a fellow, you want to learn. That's why you're applying. I think the main requirement is that you must have completed secondary school, right? You must have completed secondary school and then have a BVN or NIN, because that would be used to verify your identity before you are getting approved. And of course, always check up on your emails, because after the applications, we send the next steps. Like, okay, you're going to take a pre-program assessment, which quite a number of people don't end up doing because they're not checking up their emails until program started. They say, "Oh, sorry, I missed the email here and there." But you need to consistently check up your email after application, right? So, like I mentioned, have your BVN, your NIN, you will need that, and so the minimum criteria is that you must have completed secondary school, like I mentioned. But of course, it's open to any other person, whether degree, MSc, and any other stage of education that you might have, but you must have completed secondary school. That's the foundation. I hope that makes it clear. 3mtt.nida.gov.ng. Once they go there, every other information would be available there. Thank you. And then just to cap it also, because we have a job platform as well. We use Lobby AI. So we have a job platform, though that's national. So maybe at the state level, there could be something, but yes, there's an existing job platform for all our fellows where they go. And then these jobs are based on our partnerships with different companies and organizations, both local and then overseas. So we share those opportunities. Fellows apply, do all the recruitment there, and the offers are also there. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that additional information. So we have a lot of questions, but most of them are around how they can join the program to gain more experience. So how can young persons who are interested in the 3MTT initiative be able to apply and be part of it? All right, thank you very much, Mr. Victor. I would please like you to provide the link to the job platform so that we'll be able to share it with our own people here. So I have a comment here from one of the viewers on YouTube, and it says, it's from one of the fellows. He says 3 months isn't enough time to learn software development. There should be different schedule for different courses. So it's just a suggestion, and maybe Mr. Victor and Michael would look into that.
Okay,
Thank you for the
sure.
question. Victor, let me respond to it. There are different levels of expertise in tech, and whilst there are different ranges, right from being an intern, an early stage learner, to the most senior levels in cybersecurity, or where people play globally. Just the way it is in conventional education, the 4 years that you spend in school isn't enough to make you the expert that you need to be. But this is one thing we've made sure the 3MTT program is like. It's an applied learning. That means that during the 4 months phase where you're learning, you're also working on projects. So you can develop your skills and your ability while you do those projects. It is expected that as you finish the program after 4 months, whether you go into an internship or you go into a deep tech learning with one of our partners, or whatever you do next, you grow through the process. But what the federal government has provided is the foundation and the baseline to either be a cybersecurity professional, or be a product designer, or be someone who develops animation, or whatever you'd want to be. But the program itself will not translate you to being an expert in cybersecurity in 4 months. That is not the intention. The intention is to create a baseline, upskill you, and have you develop through the journey and become who you are. And some example is Jochebed. I made an example that we had yesterday at an event we had in Abuja, where we had a young man training product design. Currently, he works for 2 companies in the US as a product designer, and he finished as a core 2 member. And that was earlier in the year. So that's what the pathway to learning in tech looks like. Thank you.
All right.
Let me just add. So what Mr. Adeniji said is very, very important. Skills are better when you do and redo. So we can basically say that this platform gives you education, but the skills you have to develop in any of those areas will depend on your dedication to whatever channel that you choose. So I will advise that whoever it is that is learning on this platform should look at it, as Adenji said, as just a platform that provides you with the basic. Whatever you do with your life after getting the basics actually depends fully on you. We consider that people learning on this platform are adults, and they're not just learning because somebody told them to do so, but because they want to choose a path in life that will be very helpful for them. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for this contribution. Okay, so this brings us to the end of our panel session, and I would like to apologize to those whose questions we couldn't address here. Due to lack of time, we are way ahead. We are way past the time that we scheduled for this meeting, but we'll answer the questions on YouTube very soon. So I just want to thank our panelists once again for joining us on this maiden edition of Plateau TechTalk. I want to thank all the viewers on YouTube as well for taking your time to join us. And I see that we have been answering the questions on YouTube. Our team is going to reach out to the winners of this trivia to get their prizes across to them. But in conclusion, I would like to ask the DG PICTDA to give us a closing remark.
Thank you so very much, especially our guests on this platform. This is our maiden Tech Talk event, and from my assessment, it's been very, very, very successful, and we're going to do more of that. Please, we're going to call you again and again to provide some leadership in some areas where we are going to host on this webinar subsequently. What you shared are very, very important to us, and I'm sure people of the Plateau have learned from what you shared with us. From what we gathered from this event, we know that there are issues with infrastructure, which is everywhere in the country, and we know the able Minister of Communications and Digital Economy is working very hard to ensure that that is resolved. Within the state, also the Governor Caleb Mutfwang is also working to ensure that we have better infrastructure. We're going to leverage more again on the 3MTT. Already Victor has an office here at the government house, so that conversations about enrollments and others can easily be to be done with the talent management team. Regarding internet, we're working on something to see that at least for a number of people, we can sponsor some data for young people to be able to access some sites, learning sites, even though that has not been done yet, but hopefully very soon that would be done. We are working with some of the telco providers to provide such access. The test has been done, and we are able already to say, okay, to this site, we're going to sponsor this number to access for free. However, just as Uri had said, I like very well what she said, that discipline is actually the most important thing in doing this training. Somebody was sharing with me in Just North that there is a lady, a woman that does not have a computer, but she enrolled for this program, and that in the night she borrows her neighbor's computer, and she uses it. And the next day she returns it back. I was told she did very, very, very well in that program. In fact, I'll look for the woman and really maybe we'll showcase her on this platform one of these days. For people online, thank you so very much for joining us. Please like this page so that if there are any updates, you'll be invited or you'll be updated. I want to thank also the PICTDA team who have been running up and down behind the scenes to provide this platform. We had some technical hitches at the beginning of this broadcast. The link that we shared did not work because of some technical things, but next time we'll perfect on this. So thank you so very much, and then have a very wonderful time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, everyone. See you soon.
Well done, Winifred. Thank you.
All right, bye.